The Dark Knight Rises. Definitely a must-see movie and one of my personal favorites, but there is one particular scene that stuck with me. It's powerful. I'm not talking about the best fight scene or the most mind-blowing plot twist. You see, when I watch a movie, I'm watching for the lesson, the theme. What can I learn from this movie? Because God can speak to you through anything if your ear is towards Him. Now, I could go on forever about all the different messages in this movie. In fact, there's already countless articles and sermons on it. But what spoke to me was when Bruce Wayne, the Batman, was sent to be exiled in the prison. Unfortunately, this wasn't any ordinary prison. It was built in the middle of nowhere, deep in the ground, with no lighting except for the daylight that shined through the top of the hole. What's crazy about it is, you're allowed to escape whenever you want. But there's one problem. You have to climb your way out. So basically, that light of freedom at the top is just taunting. It's a false hope because no one is able to climb their way up the giant rock walls. So my question for you is, what is your wall? What in your life is between you and your hope? What is between you and experiencing freedom? Jesus said in Matthew 17:20, if you have faith as small as a mustard seed, you can say to this mountain, move from here to there, and it will move. What is your mountain? Is it an addiction that you can't shake? A struggle that you've been fighting with too long? Or maybe adversity that seems too strong? You know, I could go the Eric Thomas route and talk about how bad do you want it, because change starts first with desire, but I want to bring your attention to a small detail in the story. The Batman tried and tried, but halfway up the wall, you have to make a giant leap from ledge to ledge, and he could never make it. Luckily, everyone who attempted the climb tied a rope around their waist that served as a safety harness, so if they failed, they wouldn't die. But no matter how much Batman built his body up, he still could not make the jump. He could not conquer his wall. And there was this old wise man in the prison who told him, fear is why you fail. And this old man has insight because he has seen the only person to ever escape, which was a little kid who was born in the prison. He said, fear is why you fail. And that's what I'm trying to tell you today. You are failing to reach the greatness that God has for your life because you are afraid. You are afraid of trusting Him, afraid of going all in, afraid you'll be missing out on something, afraid of others' opinions. You know, fear is one of the devil's greatest tools because it controls you. It is what is stopping you from conquering your mountain. No matter how much you try to build your body up to take on your mountain like Batman was doing, the physicality is not the problem, it's just the symptom. The root issue is your soul. The old man said the reason the little kid was able to make the leap was because the kid did it without the rope. I don't think you're really hearing me. The kid made the jump with no rope, without the safety harness, without the plan B, and made the leap of faith. You may not admit that fear is holding you back, but you don't have to, because your actions are speaking for you, and actions speak louder than words. That sin that you keep going back to, that one thing God is telling you to do but you don't, that is your ropes holding you back, and those actions are telling God that you don't completely trust that His plan is greater than those things. It's time for you to cut the ropes. You don't need them. You may say you believe in God, and you may even say you trust Him, but it's not trust if you got everything lined up just in case God doesn't pull through. The ropes are there in case you fail. It's time to tell the world you don't need those ropes and go all in. Trust in Him and expect Him to follow through on His promises. The degree of success you reach is determined by the expectations that you set. Make the leap of faith. Listen to this. Before the last time Batman attempts to climb, he packs for his journey. The journey he will have once he makes it out. He doesn't use the rope, he expects to conquer. That's faith. Faith isn't some warm fuzzy feeling you get or thought that you think. Faith is taking action. Faith is saying, I don't need the ropes. God doesn't need it, just in case. Faith is acting like God's promises are true. You walk by faith, and it's time to take that first step. It's time to take the leap without any ropes and trust in God's plan for your life. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. And if you have faith as small as a mustard seed, you will overcome that mountain and rise to the greatness that God made you for. It's time for you to stop fighting. Assume the victory over your worldly adversity because the battle is already won. Jesus said, "Take heart, I have overcome the world." You don't have to take on your wall or mountain. Let God do it for you. You just gotta trust. Proverbs 3:5-6 says to trust in the Lord with all your heart. Not just some of it, and not most of it except for this or that. He says to lean not on your own understanding. Don't lean on how big your wall is or how big your mountain is, but how big your God is. And in all your ways submit to Him, and He promises He will make your paths straight. With this kind of faith, Jesus says, nothing will be impossible for you.